Hello world, before we begin, what time is it?
12:21.
It's 12:21 in the AM, so I'm going to sound terrible.
Are you recording?
Yes, I'm recording.
Oh, shit, my bad.
You're good. Just don't watch me. It's awkward. I just watched. We're gonna have an Insidious marathon, and
Well,
I'm gonna.
A shitty Insidious marathon,
A
considering...
I was gonna get to that. Do you want to just talk in the background, or do you want to be in this at this point?
I mean, a little bit of both, if it's...
You can give some bonus commentary as you do your music.
Wait, can I just say one thing then? You bitch!
Okay, we're doing the first one right now, but we had an Insidious marathon, and Insidious 2 wasn't on Netflix like we thought, so we just watched the first and the third one. He has yet to see the second one, but I already have, so I'll try to watch the second one at some point, and I'll just review all three of them. Yeah, and it's a nice experience, like dimming the lights and like getting a bunch of people together and just watching a scary movie. It's a wonderful experience. Was the spoiler talks, which this is, spoiler talk for Insidious. I like to just, with these, I like to give the first experience I had. I had two friends the first time I watched this, basically, we watched it on a laptop, I think illegally, which I'm not pro that, but they obviously didn't give a shit, so I'm like...
This is a bitch like Gaga?
We watched Insidious on a laptop. I think I was on the right, my two friends on the left, and the guy in the middle, he was a big guy, right? And the jump scare where I'm just gonna refer to the demon as Darth Maul. The Darth Maul demon, he was in the middle, like when he popped up behind the guy. That's when the guy who was holding the laptop that we were watching the movie on, he just shook the fucking laptop and died. Like, it was the best jump scare ever. And the demon Darth Maul was like the best. Like, he was awesome. He was a great demon, ghost, whatever. The movie was just kind of filled with the family was what got me, the creepy family. Like, I've seen this movie a couple times. I watched it that one time I referred to. I watched it just now. Back when I did written reviews, I did it then, and I did a written review for it. So that's at least 3 times. But that creepy family still gets me with the shotgun and the creepy music. Speaking of music, the sound in this, I'm gonna mention a good amount of this in the review, but the sound, it's like, even just when you see the title logo, Insidious, and it plays that like fucking music, and not to mention the jump scares, it has a lot of jump scares, but that's not the problem I usually have with movies. I have a problem with like the false jump scares, where it'll make a loud noise and it's just like, oh, we were just kidding. Like, it's just to quiet it down and then put the music on really loudly. And I'm not fond of those, but in Insidious, the style and execution both are well, and its payoff. Like, each jump scare is almost needed, and that's why I appreciate Insidious. Also, the characters. This movie has 2 sequels. One's a prequel, but you can't really use the same characters in horror movies for that long because the characters aren't developed enough to push them to that level. In Insidious, I think the characters are good enough that they can make 3 movies out of it. By the third one, it obviously was getting a little redundant, but we'll get to that in the Insidious 3 review. Each of the performances, the main dude, he was in Watchmen, like, he was in... You good?
Yeah.
Good for you. You're good. Um, was that the main dude? He was in Watchmen. He was in The Conjuring. He was in some movies. He's a well enough established actor. The girl, I've recognized her from Neighbors and probably one other movie I'm forgetting. Uh, she's awesome. Really, the only actors that aren't good are maybe the kids because they're kids, but it like pushes them out of the movie. Another thing, they moved out of the house, which I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, oh my god, they moved out of the house. What are they gonna do? And then the famous line that's like, it's not the house that's haunted, it's your son. And everyone says that now because this movie has caught on so much. Everyone just says that when the movie's going on. I'm just used to it by now. I just wait for someone to say it. Let's skip to the ending because that's really just something that always gets me. Um, that whole like final sequence when they were in the further, it was it's so creepy. And there was the family and just the lantern. It created such a nice lore for just a singular movie, enough that it spawned two sequels. That being said, like, what got me like was when he walks into the room where his Dalton, the child, is being held, and there's the Darth Maul, and he's just like creeping with like, oh, that he was so scary, the Darth Maul one. And then he was given that whole backstory with the pictures and he like the just how just the whole backstory about both him and his son being these people who can travel into the further, which is kind of like hell on Earth. But it's where you go when you die, if you're evil, according to the third one, which we will get to right after this. But the ending, like that, when I was watching it with this man, and just I like seeing people's reactions. They're just like, damn, like every time the ending and the you bitch, like, because like it's just that moment. You think the kid is the one who got possessed, but he made it out fine. It's the dad, and it's like the best final throw off. And before, this movie didn't have sequels for a long ass time, and it was just kind of hanging on the idea that I always thought like that after taking over the guy from Watchmen, the demon or ghost lady, the big scary in the dark funeral dress looking whatever the hell, I always assumed she just like murdered them all, and she didn't. But that led to Insidious 2, which we will hopefully review in the future. God, I'm trying to think of some other ones. Just the baby monitor, the fucking little boy. That the first time I watched that, and then when he popped out of the dresser, that always, cause that's a real thing. That little fucking kid was there, like it used ghosts and demons in a way that would like, oh, it's not just like a door opening. It's like this demon can kill you, and it added like this actual scare. And I do love Insidious. And I'm trying to think of more I can say about it, but I'm having trouble processing stuff right now. And I think Insidious is made for that, for those dreary-eyed late nights. That's when horror movies, like, that's when they can really get you. And do movies rely, or horror movies sometimes rely on the scare value? Is that even worth anything? Movies, all stories really are about creating emotion, and it's about suspending your belief to enter that emotion. So I think that it's a benefit to be scared by a movie if it like doesn't create that much of a story, so be it. But this movie does create a story, creates characters, and at the same time, I'm being scared, and that's always great. Um, by now, it's like I've watched the movie enough times. I know when the jump scares are gonna happen. But I still have a fondness for this movie. Even though it's like coming up on, it's over half a decade old. I know that at least. Getting old, it's fun, but I will hopefully make the review soon. I'm very backed up right now, but I'll have a review for Insidious 1, 2, 3. Need to watch the second one. But, yeah. Hope you guys have a good one. With that, I leave you.